Gavin Huntley-Fenner.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Gavin Huntley-Fenner, and I would like to thank the South Coast Chinese Cultural Association for hosting today's forum. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss important issues facing Irvine's residents. 20 years ago, I became an American citizen, and I immediately registered to vote. I did so as an independent because voting for me was a nonpartisan issue. It was really a matter of participation in our electoral system. So when my family and I moved to Irvine 16 years ago, I naturally embraced our city's tradition of collaborative, child-focused civic involvement in our city. At heart, whether we're talking about Chinese school, or the Irvine Public Schools Foundation, or even the Irvine Unified School District, we're talking about Irvine as a place in which young people are enriched and empowered academically, socially, and culturally. Our city has changed a lot over the years since I began to be involved in public life. But the idea of Irvine as an extraordinary place to live and work remains, and it continues to reward those who choose to invest in it. I've been actively involved in the Chinese community in my role as a school board member during the time I was school board president in 2008, 2009. Prior to that, and of course since then as well. I know many of you, folks in the audience, through those relationships. My son has participated in classes here at the South Coast Chinese Cultural Association and Chinese School. As a school board president, I advocated for and promoted Irvine education programs in art, music, and science. I come from a background in which education is very important. I wouldn't have been able to achieve the things that I've achieved in my life, whether it's my doctorate at MIT or starting a business in the city of Irvine, or even participating on the board of the Irvine Public Schools Foundation or on the school board, unless I had a very strong passion for learning. And it's that passion for learning, in fact, which drives me to participate in the city council. It's part of the reason. As a graduate student at MIT and a researcher, one of my research interests was Chinese language acquisition. So it's no surprise that I personally advocated for stronger Chinese instruction programs, not just within the Irvine Unified School District, but also here at the Irvine Chinese School. For example, I worked with Irvine Community Services Commissioner. Okay, thank you. So finally, I just want to ask for your vote as someone who believes in the future of Irvine as a place where we can enrich and grow. Thank you.
Ms. Beth Krom.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you here today at the South Coast Chinese Cultural Center. I was proud to be here when this center was dedicated, and I'm so grateful that we landed in the city of Irvine almost 3 decades ago, at a time when Irvine was not the diverse city that it is today. I really feel blessed to have been able to watch the evolution of this community from a city of about 75,000 when I first moved here in 1986, to the city that it is today, a city that has been recognized not just as America's safest city for the past 8 years, but as one of the most livable communities, as one of the best communities to live and work and play, to raise a family. We've been recognized as one of the 100 best communities for young people more than once. And I think one of the reasons that we have all of those distinctions today is because of something that happened 12 years ago, which is that at the time I ran for council, we were in the midst, as you may recall, of a big fight over what would happen at the El Toro Marine Base, which had been closed. And there were people who wanted to turn it into an airport, and I knew that that would be bad for our community, bad for our quality of life, bad for our environment. And that was the reason that I ran in 2000 for city council for my first race. And I'm very proud that working with then Mayor Larry Agran, within 2 years, we were able to draft and pass Measure W, which ended the threat of an airport and began the opportunity to build a great metropolitan park. Today, I serve as chair of the Orange County Great Park Corporation. I'm very proud of the progress that we have made under the most adverse circumstances to move the Orange County Great Park project forward. As many of you may know, in 2013, October of 2013, Irvine and the Orange County Great Park will host the U.S. Department of Energy Solar Decathlon. This is an international event that is coming to the city of Irvine, allowing us to showcase innovation. 20 university teams will be building energy efficient and economically efficient houses and competing, but there will also be an expo that will allow for a showcase of all the innovative technologies. And the truth is that today, Irvine is a hub for high-tech, clean tech, green tech. Our business climate here in Irvine is the economic engine of Orange County. More than 10% of all revenues generated in Orange County are generated out of this one city, and we are one of 34 cities. So I'm grateful for the support that I've enjoyed over the past 12 years, both as your council member and your mayor. I'm proud to be running again and ask for your support in my race for city council. I'm also proud to be endorsed by Suki Kang, our mayor. Thank you.
Next, Ms. Christina Shea.
Is that better? Okay. Thank you very much. It's a privilege for me to be here, and I've attended many events here, and you're opening too, and I've been proud as your former council member and mayor to be a part of this great community. I've lived in Irvine for 35 years. I've raised 3 of my children here. They're grown now, and now I have 5 of my 7 grandchildren that go to Irvine schools. I also have a new baby on the way. It's going to be born, a baby girl named Kennedy. I know I'm a Republican. She'll be born November 2nd, and another grandson will be born December 17th. So we're really excited about that. It's been great to be a grandma and to kind of start this new cycle. I'm also presently a legislative advocate for the Alderwood Elementary School, where one of my grandchildren go, and I'm a planning commissioner. I was just recently appointed. Irvine is a beautiful master plan community, as we all know, and a place that we love to call home. I began my city career in 1990 as an appointed city commissioner, approving our park systems, our child care facilities, and working with our senior community on issues important to their quality of life. I was elected to the Irvine City Council in 1992 and then elected directly as your mayor in 1996 to 2000. I took 2 years off as prescribed by our city term limits, and then I returned in 2002. So it's been a real privilege to serve this city. I have some goals, and I want to share those with you. Number one, I want to invigorate our business sector, as I've made that a main priority prior when I was your mayor. This strengthens our local economy, so we don't need to raise your taxes. I don't want to overregulate or ban businesses in the city, as has been the recent practice. I think that is something we need to stop. We must promote competition as a standard and a better business practice as well. I want to protect your tax dollars by voting for balanced budgets and not the deficit budgets that we've been voting for in the last 4 years, using up our savings to balance our budgets. And just recently, if you read the the Orange County Register, I was just endorsed by the Orange County Register along with Lynn Schott as being fiscally conservative and well thought of as managing the city budget. So you might want to look at those articles. I will ensure we get the Great Park back on track, working with the private sector to create private-public partnerships to design new plans for our park that will be implemented, and not just saying that we're going to do that. We need to bring in innovative uses that generate income at the Great Park, and also that will encourage the local economy by not raising our taxes. And I also am very concerned about overdevelopment at the Great Park so that we don't create bumper-to-bumper traffic on our neighborhood streets. That is a big concern we're facing right now. And finally, I want to be sure that we continue to partner with our school district. That's why I support Measure BB. And I also supported it when it was first proposed by Dr. Choi to be implemented now rather than going on the ballot, though I will be supporting that right now. I look forward to your vote and your support, and it's going to be great to be back working for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Shi Daja Wohangao Xing Lai Dao Zali. I hope I said that right. I've been practicing all week. Good morning. Thank you, South Coast Chinese Cultural Association and the Irvine Chinese School for hosting this forum. I'm an Irvine business owner who spent my entire life in the private sector running a successful company. The last 2.5 years, I've been an elected Irvine board director where I've worked with large multi-million-dollar budgets, created surpluses, reduced assessments, while increasing the level of services. I'm running for Irvine City Council for 3 very simple reasons. Number 1, I love this city. Number 2, the path the current council is leading us down needs to be averted. And number 3, to finish the Great Park. It's easy to say $230 million have been wasted on the Great Park. It's easy to say there's an $18 million deficit for next year. It's easy to say if this continues, your current majority council will undoubtedly vote to raise your taxes. It's easy to point fingers and be negative. What's not easy is to have a candidate who can do something about it. A candidate who is more than qualified to clean up the waste, build the Great Park, balance the budget, and get Irvine moving to a prosperous future without new taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, that candidate is me. This is what I do. I've taken communities who are in deficit with out-of-control spending, communities who are raising their assessments until I was elected. I made a promise to the voters which I kept. Those communities are Quail Hill and the Summit at Turtle Ridge. Some people's specialties are selling real estate. Others are being educators. My specialty is making a turnaround. I'm the only candidate with a plan. If you go to my website, evanforirvine.org, you'll see a detailed plan of what I intend to do when I take office. The other candidates, their plans are based on wishing and hoping. My plan involves a top-to-bottom evaluation of all city departments, saving costs through attrition and aligning public sector pay with the private sector. I'm going to introduce, and I'm the only one who said this, I'm going to introduce legislation that will make it a city law. When we spend your money, we'll have to get a minimum 3 bids. Currently, your council doesn't go out for bids. My plan involves an open line of communication with whoever I work with on the council to work together and in the best interest of Irvine. My plan involves common sense solutions that will make Irvine secure, healthy, and prosperous for many more years to follow. Thank you.
Next speaker, Ms. Lynn Schott.